The lawsuit that Erica Pinkett has filed against her ex-boyfriend DC after he takes her daughter away from her. Erica Pinkett, a well-known reality TV actress and entrepreneur, has initiated legal action against her ex-boyfriend DC after he is accused of kidnapping her daughter. This is a surprising turn of events that has occurred. Questions regarding the safety and well-being of children who are involved in relationships that are controversial have been raised as a result of this case, which has attracted the attention of the media. Within the scope of this essay, we will investigate the specifics of the case, the history of the persons who were involved, and the larger implications that it has for families that are coping with situations that are comparable to the one in question. This is the history of Erica Pinkett. Erica Pinkett first came to the notice of the public through her participation in reality television shows. Her audacious attitude and outspoken temperament garnered her both friends and critics throughout her time on these series. Over the course of her work, Erica has established a prosperous commercial career, concentrating on the sale of lifestyle and fashion products. Her advocacy work in the field of mental health and her support for women running their own businesses have earned her a lot of recognition. On the other hand, her private life has been the subject of attention from the media, particularly her relationship with DC, a man who had been an important part of her life in the past. Additionally, Erica is a mother to a young daughter, who constitutes the focal point of the legal conflict that is currently taking place in the courts. As a result of the circumstance, questions have been raised regarding the junction of public life, private relationships, and the protection of children in environments that are unstable. The relationship is with regard to Erica and DC. Erica and DC had been in a love relationship for a number of years, a relationship that was plagued by separations and reconciliations on a regular basis that occurred at regular intervals. The pair maintained a level of discretion regarding the particulars of their arguments, despite the fact that their relationship appeared to be fraught with controversy. At the same time, DC was frequently spotted accompanying Erica to a variety of events, and he even made an appearance in a few of her public engagements. However, as the development of the relationship advanced, indications of instability started to emerge. Due to the emotional pressure and concerns she was experiencing as a result of DC's actions, Erica began to distance herself from him. It was stated that Erica's friends and family were concerned about the toxic dynamics of the relationship, yet she remained resolute in her determination to make it work for the sake of their kid. The eventual breakup of the pair appeared to be unavoidable, yet the events that transpired afterward were significantly more upsetting than anyone could have predicted. The purported kidnapping of Erica's daughter by DC would serve as the impetus for a court struggle that would be played out in the context of the media for a period of several months. One of the supposed kidnappings. According to Erica's version of events, the kidnapping is said to have taken place following a violent fight between her and DC regarding the custody of their youngest daughter. Despite the fact that the particulars of the argument are still unknown, Erica asserted that DC had grown more aggressive in his pursuit of both her and their child. She was striving to build boundaries between herself and DC, particularly with regard to the safety and well-being of her daughter. She had taken the decision to stop the relationship and was working to set boundaries during this time. During the day of the kidnapping, Erica was at home when she received a distressing phone call from her daughter. It was said that during the call, her daughter stated that she was having a conversation with DC, and that he had abducted her without Erica's permission. When Erica was in a state of panic, she attempted to contact DC, but his phone was disconnected before she could reach him. Upon realizing that her daughter was in a potentially hazardous circumstance, Erica began to experience feelings of fear. An Amber Alert was issued to assist in the search for the youngster, and the police were called as soon as possible. A frantic search was initiated by Erica and her family, and they reached out to everyone who could have information about DC's whereabouts for more information. For a number of hours, Erica and those who supported her were put in a state of suspense, uninformed of the whereabouts of her daughter, or whether or not she was safe. When the District of Columbia, who had been the target of law enforcement, was discovered in a neighboring state, the issue reached a high point. The authorities were successful in retrieving Erica's daughter in a secure manner, and she was then handed back to her mother, who expressed a great deal of relief upon learning that she had been returned safely. Nevertheless, the event left Erica feeling frightened, and she started looking into legal options right once in order to make sure that her daughter would be safeguarded from any potential danger in the future. Response from the legal system and the case against DC. In the aftermath of the kidnapping, Erica launched a court lawsuit against DC, accusing him of kidnapping her daughter, causing her emotional distress, and putting her daughter's well-being in jeopardy. Over the course of the investigation, which is still ongoing, a number of unsettling allegations concerning DC's behavior have been brought to light. It has been maintained by Erica's legal team that DC had a history of controlling and unpredictable behavior, which had developed into a more severe form after the two of them broke up. According to them, he had routinely broken custody arrangements and had threatened Erica in the past. They also claim that he had threatened her. Erica claims that DC's activities were not just a breach of the law, but also an intentional attempt to inflict emotional injury to both her and her kid. Erica's daughter was also specifically targeted by DC's conduct. DC's rights as a parent have been at the focus of the court case, as has the question of whether or not his actions were driven by a legitimate desire to retain a contact with his daughter, or whether or not they were driven by anger and some desire for retribution. The case also raises more fundamental considerations regarding the obligation of parents to learn how to control their feelings, and to make sure that their children are safe during times of change that are challenging for the family. Erica and her family were affected by this. It is hardly surprising that the kidnapping occurrence has had a significant effect on Erica and her other family members. The emotional toll that the ordeal has placed on Erica as a mother has been addressed in public remarks, where she has voiced her feelings. While she was searching for her kid, she was filled with worry and uncertainty. This fear was compounded by the fact that DC, despite being her former partner, had performed activities that were so extreme and hazardous. Erica has discussed her struggle to cope with the trauma of the kidnapping and the ongoing emotional strain of coping with the legal proceedings in interviews. She has acknowledged that she is having a difficult time. As they move forward, she has underlined how important it is to make sure that her daughter has a sense of safety and security, and she has committed to doing everything in her power to protect her child from any more damage. As a result of the occurrence, a wider discussion has been initiated regarding the psychological effects that fighting between parents can have on children. Many people have voiced concern about the long-term emotional scars that could emerge from such a high-stress situation, and experts have taken the time to weigh in on the potential trauma that children can feel when they are caught in the middle of intense custody disputes. The well-being of Erica's kid continues to be her top priority, and she has committed to take any and all measures that are required to prevent any events from occurring in the future. Erica has maintained that her primary concern is to provide a secure and consistent environment in which her child can develop and flourish, despite the fact that the case is being brought to public attention. The legal consequences of this. There will be significant legal repercussions as a result of the case against DC. This raises questions about the harmonious relationship that exists between parental rights and the safeguarding of children from potential harm. In the majority of cases involving child custody, both parents have the right to continue having access to their children. However, the issue becomes more problematic when one of the parents is considered to be a concern for the kid's well-being. Experts in the field of law have provided their perspectives on the matter, pointing out that instances involving the kidnapping of children are considered very seriously by the legal system. If District of Columbia is found guilty of kidnapping or endangering another person, he may be subject to severe legal consequences, such as incarceration and the loss of custody or visiting rights that he had previously enjoyed. The case, on the other hand, sheds light on the intricacies that are involved in custody disputes. In most cases, both parents have the right to visit and care for their children. In situations such as this one, the courts frequently take into consideration the child's well-being as well as the child's best interests when making decisions regarding child custody. Additionally, it is highly probable that the court will take into account not only DC's acts, but also his previous behavior, as well as the overall dynamics of the relationship that exists between the parents. Furthermore, the case has the potential to establish a precedent for the manner in which comparable instances are handled in the future. In the event that DC is found guilty, it has the potential to send a powerful message on the legal repercussions of kidnapping and other forms of parental interference in custody agreements. Effects on the dynamics of families on a larger scale. Despite the fact that this case focuses on a prominent family, it serves as a reminder of the difficulties that many families encounter when negotiating the challenging terrain of divorce and separation. Unfortunately, children are sometimes used as pawns in custody battles, which may bring out the worst in many parents. These battles can bring out the worst in individuals. The example of Erica Pinkett highlights the significance of having clear legal agreements, having excellent communication between co-parents, and most crucially, the necessity of placing a priority on the mental and physical well-being of children. The case serves as a warning story about the potential hazards of unresolved disagreement and the need of keeping a safe environment for children, regardless of the circumstances. Although the circumstances of each family are unique, the case serves as a cautionary tale. Taking steps forward. In spite of the fact that the legal proceedings against DC are still ongoing, Erica continues to concentrate on the future of her daughter. She has promised to continue fighting for the protection and security of her child, and she intends to use her prominent position to speak for other parents who may be going through situations that are comparable to her own. For Erica, the purpose of this action is not limited to the protection of her own kid. Rather, it is also about bringing attention to wider issues concerning the dynamics of families and the welfare of children. In spite of the fact that the path that lies ahead may be lengthy and challenging, Erica is resolute in her determination to make certain that her daughter is raised in a safe and loving atmosphere, free from any fear or emotional injury. As the judicial processes continue, there is no doubt that the public and the media will continue to follow the case, which brings to light the delicate balance that exists between the protection of children, legal rights, and the relationships within families.